Nearly 140 years ago, a man made a dramatic entrance at the British Museum, presenting a collection of ancient documents initially celebrated as invaluable relics. They sparked a sensation before ultimately being debunked as clever forgeries, vanishing without a trace. Now, a modern expert has revisited these enigmatic Shapira Scrolls, unearthing a surprising revelation about their true nature. The Shapira Scrolls, shrouded in mystery, have been the subject of a recent examination by an expert, leading to a startling revelation concerning their biblical significance. What sets these manuscripts apart, and why did it take so long for the truth to surface? Moses Shapira arrived in London with an incredible tale to tell. He asserted that the documents he carried were unearthed by Bedouins in a remote desert cavern near the Dead Sea. These scrolls purportedly represented the oldest biblical texts in existence, with the potential to challenge the established version of the Bible. However, doubts lingered. Was Shapira a legitimate historical artifact discoverer, or was he a cunning opportunist seeking to profit from his knowledge of antiquities? Among the texts included in the Shapira Scrolls was a portion of the Book of Deuteronomy, a fundamental component of the Old Testament. Yet these scrolls contained variations from the widely accepted version. In the late 19th century, these differences held considerable religious implications, as many believed this section of the Old Testament contained the literal Word of God, passed down to Moses. Therefore, if the Shapira Scrolls were authentic, they indicated alterations in the Book of Deuteronomy over the centuries, a discovery that Shapira hoped to sell for over $1 million. A colossal sum was offered for these scrolls at the time, and the British Museum expressed interest in acquiring them, provided their authenticity could be confirmed. However, Charles Claremonano, a French scholar and archaeologist, cast doubt on their genuineness, labeling them as forgeries. He wasn't alone in his skepticism, as the renowned biblical scholar Christian Ginsburg also questioned their authenticity. In the end, Shapira left London in disgrace and passed away in Amsterdam a few months later. The scrolls changed ownership over the years and eventually vanished from public view, leaving numerous unanswered questions. Interest in the scrolls was rekindled in the 1950s with the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which exhibited striking similarities to the ones Shapira had brought to light. Scholars were eager to apply modern research methods to reevaluate their authenticity, but the whereabouts of the scrolls remained a mystery. Recently, an expert named Aydin Dershowitz, an Israeli-American scholar based in Germany, embarked on a journey to unravel this mystery. He stumbled upon transcripts made by Ginsburg and another scholar during their examination of the scrolls in the 19th century. These transcripts offered valuable insights into the content of the scrolls and led Dershowitz to Shapira's original notes. Dershowitz's research suggested that Shapira had genuinely grappled with the documents, and he believed that Shapira did not personally forge them. The meticulous examination notes and queries Shapira had inscribed in the margins indicated a sincere study of the scrolls. This discovery challenged the prevailing notion of forgery and raised the possibility that the scrolls could indeed be a genuine copy of the Book of Deuteronomy, presenting an alternative version of the text. The revelation of what might be the oldest biblical texts ever found initially faced skepticism, in part due to Shapira's claim that Bedouins had stumbled upon them in a cave. However, this skepticism diminished with the emergence of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which shared a similar origin story with the Shapira Scrolls. Unlike earlier manuscripts, the scientific community now considers these artifacts genuine. Dr. Dershowitz, who extensively studied these manuscripts, highlighted key differences between them and the familiar fifth book of the Old Testament. He pointed out that the valediction of Moses in these scrolls lacked the law code and concluding poems that are found in the Book of Deuteronomy. Furthermore, these scrolls omitted a specific detail present in the modern Bible, which suggested that they might represent an earlier edition. These findings hinted at the possibility that these manuscripts could indeed originate from an early version of the Old Testament, potentially dating back around 2,700 years. While some still labeled them as forgeries, Dr. Dershowitz's work ignited controversy and stirred debates in academic circles. The scrolls discovered by Shapira might have been skillfully crafted forgeries, but they now seem to foreshadow the existence of the Dead Sea Scrolls, suggesting that Shapira may have had a hand in their creation. This controversy has divided scholars, with some believing that Shapira was a master forger, while others see these scrolls as a significant biblical discovery akin to the Dead Sea Scrolls. In 2017, researchers from Liberty University and the Hebrew University in Jerusalem made a groundbreaking discovery in the caves near the Dead Sea. They uncovered a collection of seemingly insignificant pottery jars that had the potential to rewrite history and impact the content of the Bible. The initial discovery led to the excavation of a cave where they found a scroll inside a jar. However, this scroll turned out to be blank. Undeterred, the archaeologists continued their exploration and stumbled upon a secret tunnel within the cave. Within this tunnel, they stumbled upon 3 broken storage jars, strongly suggesting that they had once contained valuable documents known as the Dead Sea Scrolls. These scrolls are among the most prized historical documents globally, containing the oldest known copies of the books that constitute the Hebrew Bible. Until recently, archaeologists believed that these scrolls were confined to 11 specific caves. However, the discovery of this 12th cave challenges previous assumptions and calls for further excavation. Prior to the arrival of archaeologists, looters had already plundered this cave, leaving it devoid of scrolls. Despite this setback, experts remain optimistic about future excavations in the area, hoping to unveil more hidden secrets in the Qumran Hills. It is imperative for the Israeli government to allocate funding for these excavations before opportunistic looters have the chance to exploit this rich historical site. We appreciate your support and thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for more updates.